You are special. You are important. You are the man. When I talk about things like confident, intelligent, and assertive, CIA, when I talk about frames, fragrance, footwear, when I talk about any of the things, the catchwords I use them for a very specific reason. Because you matter. And you need to carry yourself as such. So the first thing is I started to treat myself well. Yeah, even when you're making minimum wage, get an extra topping on your pizza. Get extra cheese. That's why I talk about the 3 F's: frames, fragrance, and footwear. Gentlemen, if no one's told you, you got to tell yourself, you are special. You are important. First, let me apologize to you. I am sorry, black woman, that you did not have your father in the household. I am sorry that you did not get to be a little girl and get to be daddy's little princess. I'm sorry you didn't get that. I am. It's truly unfortunate that so many of you did not have a chance to be a princess and daddy's little girl and all that stuff. However, you're over 18. Princess is reserved for women teenage and under. The only way to become a queen is to be married to a king. You're not queens, nor are you princesses. See, when you walk around telling women that they're royalty, you cannot be surprised when they act in an elite fashion. Look, you may be special to your son, your daughter, your family, a particular group or segment of the men in your race, but you're not special. You're just a woman. You're average, you're normal. You carry yourself a certain way, when you treat yourself in a certain way, you will actually give yourself permission to demand the best from others. That's the key. You got to carry yourself that way, give yourself permission to demand that people treat you with respect, address you with respect, let nothing slide. When someone wants to insult you, when someone wants to do a sneak diss or something like, call it out, call her out of the mat. Nope, your name is so-and-so, don't let them, your name is Daryl, no, Darren, don't let them call you D, say my name is Darren, my name is Daryl. Gosh darn selfish. This is why so many women get angry when you ask, what do you bring to the table? And their answer is, bring to the table? I'm not bringing anything to the table because I'm not going to allow you to use me. That's why that question infuriates women right off the rip. They don't want to be used. They want to use you. You are supposed to make their lives easier. And if you don't give them a life of upper middle class or lower upper class luxury, you don't matter. This is why you hear so many women saying, I can do bad all by myself. Meaning, why should I work hard? Why should I work a 40-hour week job with a husband? Why should I be paying rent with a husband? Why should I be doing any of this stuff? But yet, you work harder. Single women work harder than other women because you do everything by yourself. You just don't recognize it until it's too late. Women allow themselves to be you. The more you realize you don't know shit in your 20s. And by the time you get 35, that's when reality will hit you and you have to take stock of where you are. And if you're losing or behind, that's your problem. At 40 is when life really starts for a man. And if you've been doing the right things, the better things, putting in the work, life becomes far much more pleasurable at 40. But then, just like you see a lot of women who have the 1,000 C's stare in their eyes, you see a lot of guys at 40 who have the losers stare in their eyes because they got light resumes, few skills, they've misused their youth, chasing stupid shit, and now they don't have as much time. And they can't make the money. And they got to hold on to that damn job. They got to hold on to the damn job they have because if they lose that job, they know if they're going to the open market is going to sell them. See, that's the real truth. Value is determined by a market. The market determines what value is. Where are you on the market? The close being broke. If you're not working 60 hours minimum a week that you're getting paid for, turn off YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and get your ass out there. Go down there and work at McDonald's, Circle K, get you a job. I don't care about your pride. You can't be proud and broke at the same time. Go work, and then you take that money you make from your part-time job, invest some of it, Take half of it, invest it to your future. The other 50%, the other percentage, take some, have some fun, go buy your belt, then invest in self-improvement. Get you a high-income skill. Get you something that's going to give you high-value skill that you can market on, that you can leverage on the marketplace. Whether you're working in corporate America or whether you're going to be doing your own entrepreneurial thing in the future. But men, if you're working, the harder you work, the luckier you get, the more exposure you get. I want to hear shit. Project woman. You pick a woman that's fully assembled. Picking a project woman means you got to stop what you're doing and put the pieces together. And putting the pieces together, she will never thank you for putting the pieces together. She will resent you for remembering her when she was broken. Oh shit. You don't pick a project woman. You pick a woman that's fully assembled. Picking a project woman means you got to stop what you're doing and put the pieces together. And putting the pieces together, she will never thank you for putting the pieces together. She will resent you for remembering her when she was broken. Fuck your degrees, fuck all that. Are you a man? Can you survive? Can you make some shit shake? Or are you sitting back waiting to be taken care of? This is a crucial point in time for a lot of men. This is a crucial point in time for a lot of men. See, do not let this time go by without you coming out and not learning or improving. I talked about Photoshop. If you know Photoshop, good. Go learn. What's the one for the Mac? Final Cut Pro. Do you know how many people are becoming content creators right now who are starting to run an Instagram account or a YouTube and they're not going to have time? You know how many side jobs you can pick up on your own version of Fiverr? And please. First, gentlemen, women come. But even when you become a man, we gotta stop this of trying to be the demon slayer, big energy, Only group of men that run around trying to reinforce our manhood with our golden. When I was young, I thought that made you a man. The more cut you got, the more you made a man. And there's a point in time when you're like, this is stupid. Every time you lay down with somebody, you risk either getting a transmitted disease or creating a life. It's reckless. It's meaningless. And there are numbers you get to where you can be ashamed of, like, God, I've had all this for what? Doesn't make you a man. Now, but doesn't make you a man. That's for the family. See, I wish we had more black men focus on manhood first, gentlemen. Men make compromises all the time. Men don't want to have to get out and pay all the bills. We don't want to have to put our life on the line and die for you. Yeah. See, you ladies like yourself, what you do is you validate women like this. You tell her it's nothing wrong with her wanting what she wants. Yeah, it is. Because no. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. Okay, but there's no but. What she wants is keeping her single. I don't know why you ladies think the world is built around what you want. We're grown people. We do what we have to do so we can do what we want to do. Hold on. And part of our problems in relationships is because people refuse to grow up. They refuse to grow up and refuse to put away the childish things and notions of want and love and this and that and realize that life is about trade-offs, compromises. Mm-hmm. But don't you think those compromises should be on both sides? Here's what it should be on. There are more women in the world that think like her. Okay. But they're not wise. That's end of sentence. You guys want to just go back and make this a philosophical debate. It isn't. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. And either you ladies decide to meet men where they are, or you get a woman, or you get a dog, and die alone. Men have to do today as a man is to be better than these bums walking out in the street. And when you got 40-year-old men wearing t-shirts, jeans, and Jordans talking about they want to be treated like a man and get respect. Dude, they're making your life easy. Imagine the kind of women, imagine the people that you're going to be your competition, the women you're going to be competing for. They're used to these damn Cro-Magnon men. You're trying to make a good impression on your boss or your co-workers, work is done. You're trying to make a good impression on that little sexy senorita, work is done. And you don't have to break your bank and spend a lot of money. You don't need to be looking like you're still in your mama's house playing Madden or NBA 2K. You need to carry yourself like a man. And a man, you can define a man by his space. You need to get a comfortable chair that you sit in. Guys, so much about you. Sentiment is if you are a woman and you are cute, pretty, beautiful, and or gorgeous, that's 6, 8, 9, and or 10, and you have never been married, there's something wrong with her. 100% of the time, there is something wrong with her. She might be feminine. She is likely beautiful. She may say all the right things, but but somewhere there is a flaw in her mindset. Perfect females, they're all going to go left at some point. You need to ask yourself, how much am I willing to risk? Every time you deal with a woman, get pragmatic, ruthless, and savage and say, how much am I willing to risk and what do I want as an outcome? Assign it a dollar value and think about going to Vegas. There's sometimes people go to Vegas just to gamble and say, I got $1,000 to blow in the casino. They don't get mad that they didn't come home winning because it was the experience. That's how you need to approach women. Don't get mad, you got the experience. But see, far too often, you guys go into, you end up dealing with women and you want to turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. No. Women are around for the experience. In the moment, you stay in the masculine role, you let your woman stay in the feminine role. She gets to vent and download to you. You go talk to the goddamn tree. You only cry in front of your woman when an immediate family member dies or when you break both arms. And then you can only cry for about 3 seconds. Man the fuck up. You got the nerve to be mad at women because we bitches. Become the man of your dreams before you find the woman of yours. You feel me?
That's gonna take some time.
That's why I say you got 15 years. You want to keep a relationship about what you deserve. What you deserve. I'm a nice woman, I deserve. You don't deserve anything that you don't work for. And one of the surest ways to prove to the kind of man that you would want that you are worthy to become his wife, his feminine asset, is by portraying a classy image. Many times you ladies talk about what you deserve. What you deserve. I'm a nice woman, I deserve. You don't deserve anything that you don't work for. And one of the surest ways to prove to the kind of man that you would want that you are worthy to become his wife, his feminine asset, is by portraying a classy image. Many times you ladies talk about what you excuse her bad behavior because she looks good. I mean, you guys got one of these. Uh-oh. Can you whoop somebody's ass?
A couple people, I don't just,
Really? What size are you again?
No, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm 5'8", 140, 145.
Yeah, you talk shit, but you can't back it up.
A little bit. Why I gotta back it up physically?
Because that's what talking shit is supposed to do with you masculine ass women. See, there's a low level threat of violence between men. See, if you talk shit to a man as a man, you might get that furniture knocked out your mouth. But as women, you can just run off at the mouth and do the shit that you do and think it's funny. See, this little hee chuckling, that's not cute. That may fly with them simps and punks you deal with. That don't fly with me. I see what you are. You're cuter than normal. And you've been on the CC picking men who you think, but ain't nobody wiped it. And ain't nobody been in a relationship with you since 22. And the problem is dead in the mirror.
So that's my rating?
See, guys, here's the problem with these eternal sevens, as the caller is. Eternal sevens are used to being in a position where they condescend to men because the men, remember I told you the 8s, 9s, and 10s get married. Can you whoop somebody's ass?
Okay. No, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm 5'8", 140, 145.
Yeah, you talk shit, but you can't back it up.
A little bit. Why I gotta back it up physically?
Because that's what talking shit is supposed to do with you masculine ass women. See, there's a low level threat of violence between men. See, if you talk shit to a man as a man, you might get that furniture knocked out your mouth. But as women, you can just run off at the mouth, do the shit that you do and think it's funny. See, this little hee hee chuckling, that's not cute. That may fly with them simps and punks you deal with. That don't fly with me. I see what you are. You're cuter than normal. And you've been on the CC picking men who you think, but ain't nobody wiped it. And ain't nobody been in a relationship with you since 22. And the problem is dead in the mirror.
So that's my rating?
See, guys, here's the problem with these eternal sevens, as the caller is. Eternal sevens are used to being in a position where they condescend to men because the men, remember I told you the 8s, 9s, and 10s get married and scooped up early on, and they sit out here and do them. And then when they get to 30 years old and all of a sudden they decide now I really want to get serious about a man. But you find out that women like yourself, ma'am, you have no skills to deal with men, much less high-level men. Women based on looks. You have to understand a woman's mindset. And if her mindset is modern, you gotta go. Doesn't matter what comes. And you only judge women based upon their actions. Give women in general the benefit of the doubt. And see, a lot of ladies aren't going to like what I'm about to say, but I say this. Look at a woman that even if you're dealing with, assume that she means the best. Assume her heart's in the right place. It doesn't matter. It comes down to your action. You can't favor. Look forward. I need you to look down about 2 feet. That's called a vajayjay. It comes standard on all female models. There is not a model that comes off the factory lot that does not have one. It comes standard. It's not special. Oh, it's not special. Not these days. It used to be when it only had one driver. When you could verify the previous owner through father, whoever. When not many people had taken it for a test drive. But if it's become a rental or a buy here, pay here lot, I'm sorry. You cannot demand premium. 80 degrees in your life and look at your relationships. Business, personal, professional, and romantic. And cut off your feelings and look at them pragmatically. And for every relationship where you're putting in more than you're getting, you need to stop. This is a hard thing to do because human beings are want for consistency. And this is where we got to own what we do with women, gentlemen, because far too many of us have learned to accept bad behavior, normalize it, and it just gets worse. So Crazy Ivan, are you dealing with somebody who you're at an imbalance with, especially women, because if you're at an imbalance with women, they will allow it to go on, and what ends up happening? You become frustrated, passive-aggressive, soft, and this is a bad situation. Why am I telling you this? Because far too many of you guys are in friend zones, beta male friend zones. Far too many of you guys have gotten into this nice role, and you need to go ahead and play Crazy Ivan, turn around and cut them off. Why are women freaking out when I say this? Because I'm talking about taking their attention away. Why am I talking about taking their attention away? Because, ladies, you need to be focusing on the man that you say that you want if you want a different outcome. Just like I talked to that one sister on Instagram the other night, and I said, I see far too many women who say, I like this content. I'm on board with it, but you're in your 30s. And I said, I'm going to focus like a laser on women 33 and above who say you want a different outcome, but you're unmarried and no